Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So we're now into March and our first job is going to be to take all these pallets of lettuce from our greenhouse down to the sell everything container and get them sold. So yeah, 15,000 litres of lettuce that we've stocked up on since we first put that greenhouse in. So we'll get all these sold, and then the next job will be to get the oats into our new field. Okay, so according to the time saver stock check, the best month for lettuce was actually February. So we are quite 1 month over, but I still think we're around about 1,000 per 1,000 litres. So we should get around about 15,000 in total. Which won't be too bad from the greenhouse, considering all we have to do is put a bit of water in every now and then. So there we go, 15,633 in total. So that's not too bad. While I'm down here as well, we'll just quickly check the used equipment sales because I've not done it yet. Typical after we buy a new tractor, John Deere 6R comes up to 300 horsepower. 37.6 hours on it. Don't think anything else is really of any use to us. But it's always worth checking. So yeah, we'll head back to the farm, and the next job will be to get the lime spread on the new field. Right, so back down at the main yard. We'll just find somewhere to drop this trailer off out the way for a little bit. Actually, we can just leave the truck there for a bit because we won't need it. So the new field that we put in last time, I have extended it a little bit. So after I finished recording, before I started this episode, I cleared a few more trees down the back end and down this right hand side over here. So we've got a trailer load of logs ready to go and be sold just here. So yeah, I bought it out quite a little bit more. I did think when I was doing it, there wasn't that many trees to bring it out to where it starts to raise up. So it kind of made sense just to finish clearing those off and extend this field pretty much as I would do anyway. So we've pretty much gone down to where it starts sloping up a little bit. It's not too bad here. So there's a fairly gentle slope going up that way, but it does get steep, or fairly steep going up this way, which probably be a little bit difficult to harvest. And I've also removed all the stones off this field as well. So I think in total we've got around about 8,200 litres of stones. They've all been tipped over by the stone crusher. So the next job for that is to get the lime spread on it, and then we can get it sown with oats. The sheep are now up to 100 as well. So we've had the next 25 sheep. So at some point today we'll get the 25 transferred over into this new pasture. So we can free up space then for the next 25. Right, last little bit of lime to do, and that's another job done. There we go. Our new field all limed up and ready to be sown with oats. We'll just get that one tiny little bit there I missed. Now we're done. So yeah, next job will be to sow the oats, and we'll take the old seed drill up to the store with the John Deere, and then we can buy a new one to replace that. Right, we'll get this one sold and then we can buy the new one. Obviously there is the option, we could have bought a second one of these to link together, a bit like I did on Silver and Forest, but I thought I'd use something different, something I've not used before as well, so change things up a little bit. So this is not going to be from the point of view of efficiency and like using our money, it's the upgrade is not going to be the best option, but I say it's something I've not used before, and I thought it'd be interesting to give it a go, and it is an upgrade on what we've just sold, so it'll be great to use. So if we go to seeders, the one I'm going to go for is the 1590 no-till tandem drill. So it is quite expensive, 83,180. It does show it's 9 meters. It's got fairly decent seed capacity as well, but it is the tandem version of this one. So this is the single one, which is 4.5 meters. This one folds out. It's like two individual ones linked together. So we'll go with the solid fertilizer tank add-on as well, which is going to bump it up to 84,200. But as you can see, we've got plenty of money, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll get some seed and fertilizer as well while we're here. So if we get 3 bags of seed, we'll get a couple of bags of fertilizer should do. So we're still left with 110,000, so not too bad. But there is our new seed drill setup. As I say, it's something I've not used myself before, so it's nice to try out some different things. Although looking at the price of it, I say the better option or cheaper option would have definitely been to get a second one of the case drills, which is actually probably a meter and a bit wider as well. But I thought I'd really want to try out some different mods as we progress. Okay, so let's get this new drill all set up so we can get the oats in this field. Try and work out how this all works. There we go, unfolding now. There we go, let's push that one out to the side and swung that arm round so we can then connect this one up to the side. How easy this is going to be to connect up is going to be another matter. Oh, not too bad. There we go, they should both be set to out, so if we straighten that up. So this is a drill I've never used before myself, so I'm not sure exactly how well it will work, but so interested to give it a try. How do we get both of them to switch on? Oh, I've got... There we go, that one's... Yeah, so at the moment I'm struggling to get the second one to lower down. Oh, there we go. Right, so now they're both switched on, both lowered down. No, they're not. Now they're both switched on and they're both lowered down. Now we can get the oats sown. So yeah, a little bit fiddly to get those both lowered and set up. But away we go with sowing the oats. As you can see as well here, I've got a few big piles of logs. These are the extra ones I couldn't fit on the trailer from this end of the field. So we've got plenty of logs to be loaded up and sold. So we've got a lot of money sitting on the ground as well with the logs. As one of the reasons why I kind of went for this drill is because we're not in a position where we're worrying about money at the moment. So nice to try something else out as well. Okay, so last little bit of planting to do for all the oats, and that's that field all done. We'll then take the old rollers up to the store, we'll sell those and we'll buy a new set. It's going to be a lot quicker to get this field done with some wider rollers than the ones we've currently got. That'll save us a little bit of time now. We're getting some more fields and getting a reasonable sized field. I wouldn't say it's a large field by any means. This is the trouble now, I can't switch that back one off. I'll switch that one, or trying to switch that back one off, it's switching the other one back on. If I highlight that one, it just switches that one on and off. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Right, there we go. Now they're both off. Let's get that one lifted up. So we'll just double check. I think this field is mostly fully fertilised from when we ploughed in the grass. So you can see it needs rolling. So there is a slight patch there where there wasn't actually much grass. It was like just bare forest ground texture. But a large majority of it is fully fertilised. But yeah, we will need to go over it with the rollers. As for the seed drill, it's difficult to turn it too tight. It does get hung up a little bit, so you definitely need a good amount of room to turn with it. But it seems to work okay, and it's got a fairly big seed fertilizer tank. So if we drop off that one, and then I can get this one folded up, and get that one connected back up, and then we can try and find somewhere to put these. Don't know if these will fit in the old shed. Potentially we may be able to get them into the old shed down the side doors, so we may have to drive straight through, drop them off, and then drive out the other end. So we're now having to mess around trying to reverse them into a shed. I dropped that one off. I want to hook that back one up, not drop the front one off. I've tried them anyway, so at some point in the future we'll probably upgrade beyond these, but for now I think these will do for what we need. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't know if they'll fit through here. If I move the pressure washer, I don't know if that doorway is going to be wide enough. The other option is to see if they'll fit in one of those. I think they're pretty much all the same size doorways. I think this one might be the best one. If we clear this stuff out of the way, we could just drive straight through, drop them off and drive out the other end if they fit. We'll just put them out the way for now, so it's going to be close. We can just disconnect them and put them in individually if need be. We'll just drop them there for the time being, just so they're out of the way. We'll get the rollers and we'll get those up to the store and get those sold and get the new set. And we can get that field rolled. We're not going to get a lot back for these rollers. They weren't particularly expensive to start with. But at least we'll get something back for them to go towards the new set. But we've got a fair decent amount of use out of them, so can't complain. So they were nice and cheap. So we'll get $2,393 back. While we're here, we'll just go in and go to rollers. The ones we don't have much choice. I did look through ModHub and I can't really find much more that's suitable, so we're just going to go with these ones. They're 12.3 meters, so it's a nice big upgrade. 160 horsepower requirement, which we've got more than enough of. I'll take off the license plate and we'll buy those. No, I want to buy those. So 41,000, a lot more than I'd like to have really spent on a set of rollers, but these ones will last us a long time. Or need to even consider getting any bigger ones. Okay, so let's get the outfield rolled, and then what we'll do once this is done, and all our field work for today will have been done, we'll probably take up that trailer of logs. We do need to try and get some sort of animal trailer so we can transfer the sheep over from the one pasture to the other one, because there's no way of doing that in game without putting them into a transport trailer and then unloading them into the other pasture. So we'll have to go and get a transport trailer to do that. So we've got lots of logs there we can get loaded up. Now we've got the trailer to sell as well, so we've got plenty of money. And then what I want to do then is get a bit of work done around the farmyard. So there's a few things I want to try and add while we've got a bit of money. And then I think after that it's going to be trying to probably continue clearing more trees down this area so we can possibly get another field in. I don't know if we'll get that in time to get a crop in though, because we are now into March. We've got till May, I think, is the latest we can sow any crops, which I think is like soybeans and corn. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So potentially we may try and get another field in before that period, so we can get another harvest done later in the year. Right, rolling is almost done, if not done. I think that tiny little bit here that should be all done. We'll just double check I've missed any bits. Tiny little bit down that end by the looks of it. Yeah, and just down that one edge. So we'll just get that tiny little bit I've missed down here somewhere, although probably difficult to actually see where it is. Somewhere around here. Might be on that corner there where I was going round. Let's just check again. I was saying it's right next. Oh, there, I can see it now. It's that tiny dark patch just there. There we go, that's done. And I think there was a tiny bit down here, but I don't think I actually got any crop in that. I think it's the bit where the field sticks out. And didn't actually plant with the crop, so that's the rolling done. Much better doing it with the 12.3 meter wide rollers than the 5.2, I think the other ones were. But that is another job done. So what I would like to do is get a bit more work done around the yard, possibly get another shed put in, so we can fit the mower in at least, and tidy things up a little bit, and try and find somewhere to put the new seed drill. It's starting to get a bit of a mess around here as well. So just drop that there for a bit. Yeah, so ideally I'd like to get another shed built that we can put that mower in, possibly the disc in as well to get that out of the way. So what I was considering doing was under sheds we've got a 3-bay version of the one we've got by the sheep pasture, which I don't know if that's going to be big enough to fit. Well, the disc harrow is definitely not going to fit in there. Will the actual mower? It's going to be close. I don't think that's going to be wide enough, so I might need to look for something else. I do have that one, but I don't like the roof tiles on that one. Just as a sort of open shed. Yeah, that one's not going to quite work. I think that one, the space between the poles is going to be a bit too tight for the mower to fit in. See what else we've got. I think same problem with that one, and that one's probably a little bit too big. Getting that one, I'm not keen on the roof tiles. Well, not that I don't like the roof tiles, I just don't think they kind of fit in with what we're going for. That's the same as what we've got over there, which is the same problem we've got. They're not going to fit in. Yeah, not much options actually. We've got one of these. That could possibly work, but it might be a bit big. I don't know if I like that one quite how it looks. So yeah, I might have to have a go through. See if I can find something that's more suitable to fit in somewhere to do that. So yeah, we'll leave that for a sec. So one other thing I want to do is extend this fence. So we'll do that now while we've got a bit of money. So we go for the split rail fence, which is this one here. Put the snap mode on so it keeps it nice and straight. I'm going to bring that out down to here. And eventually what we'll do, we'll probably continue that round. And I want to put a set of gates in just here so we can access it through. Yeah, and we'll have the gates. Yeah, we'll have the gates open into the field. Probably. Yeah, let's try and get these somewhere in the middle. So we want to go probably a bit further over that way. Go a bit too far. So bring those to there. And then we can just refill in the fence either side. And then we'll do a bit of landscaping to kind of put the track into that. So that's our access to the grass field. Now let's bring that down to the actual edge of the field as well. And we'll just tidy that up a little bit with there's a bit more grass in there. Probably take off that corner a little bit. So unfortunately I can't get rid of that grass. It always comes back every time I load in the game, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's that kind of access into the grass field. So eventually what I'd like to do is bring that fence around along the side of this grass field and alongside the track down to the farm entrance, and then eventually get some fencing all around the house as well. And we'll change this bit up by the chickens, so this will get changed. We can bring this out a bit further as well and bring this road over so it's more over here, so we've got a bit more space around the actual house, which we're hoping to change. The new ranch house by Elk Mountain Modding was in testing this week, so hopefully that will pass, but if it doesn't, it'll probably be another week or so. So I want to try and get these trees cleared, so this group of trees here. So I'll move the greenhouse to the back of the chicken enclosure here. So the greenhouse will be somewhere at the back here to give us a bit more space around the house for the new one. And then we can possibly get a separate garage built as well. So yeah, that's that kind of job. So I need to try and find some sort of shed that I like the look of, that we can try and fit some more equipment in that kind of fits in as well. I'll probably have a look at that in a bit, but I think the next thing is we need to get those sheep moved over. So animal transport, we don't have much options. So I might just get one of these for now. The oh, this is the lizard one, but it is the Johnston trailer pack, I think. I don't know why I've got the lizard one installed. I think this is just lizard branding for console release. And the PC one has got the official branded one. For some reason I've got the lizard one installed. So yeah, actually we need to get the flatbed, and I'll go for a black. Keep everything else as standard. We don't need tension belts on it, so we'll buy one of those, so 11,800. I'll get one of these to go with it so we can transfer our sheep over. So I'll head up to the store and pick that up. I've got the animal transport trailer, so we can get the first 25 sheep transferred over from the main pasture into the second one. So that'll just free up that bit of space for the next 25. So we want the 25 youngest ones, which are $100. So we'll select those, and we could do 12 at a time. So we can do 2 lots of 12 and then one single sheep all on his own. So I wish there was a way in game that you could just go onto the animal menu and click to like transfer sheep from one pasture to another one. I know this way is obviously a little bit more realistic, because obviously you won't be able to do that in real life. Would just make things a little bit easier in game. So there's the first 12 into the second pasture. I've already filled up the water, so we just need to give them a bale of hay, so they've got some feed. So we'll get the next 12. So we want the $100 ones and move to trailer. I think the next 25 sheep aren't going to be too long away, so it's possibly going to be another month or two, because the first 25 sheep that we had from the new births are now reproducing. So we'll transfer those over. We'll just get this last one, and that's that job done. I say we'll just give them a bale of hay, and they should be all sorted then for a while. So last one of the 100, and there we go. So that's 75 left in there now, so we've got space for the next 25. And then we'll have 25 in the new pasture, which we'll keep until we need the space in this one to move some more over. And then we'll sell the 25 oldest ones from this pasture. We'll take to the animal dealer and sell. So there we go. I'm just going to leave this animal transport trailer just here for now. So while I try and sort out the other stuff, actually I'm thinking about it, we could, no, I think that's probably a little bit too big to fit in that shed. I was just thinking then we could change that 2-bay one to the 3-bay one and just leave the animal transport trailer in there, because we only need it for the sheep at the moment. So if we just have a look, so we've got the 25 youngest ones, they're now 5 months in this pasture. So those are the ones that have just reproduced. The oldest ones, we've got the 23-month-old. The next ones are 10 months old now, but they're 60%, which yeah, that should be another couple of months and they'll reproduce as well. So then we'll be up to another 25. And then what we'll do, we'll take out those youngest ones and transfer those over as well. And then we'll just keep changing them over. We're still down to 250 chickens. We've got 3,700 litres of feed left in the feed trough. And I think I've got about 800 litres left in the silo. Our first lot of horses are now up to 1,550 in value. 9 months old, so they've still got a way to get to their full value, and they're still some way off before they get to their reproduction state as well. So the horses, it's going to be a long-term investment for the horses, but I do think that will start making us a reasonable amount of money when we get to the point they can start reproducing as well, and then we can start selling the offspring off when they get to a decent value. But yeah, there's the first 25 sheep into our second pasture. So working our way towards more things that say long time coming, but they'll start paying off soon. So if we get the skid steer, which I've lost, I think I'll put it back in the shed. Yep. And I'll get a bale of hay for the sheep. Looks like we're going to need to refuel this. I could also do repairing it as well, which I think we'll just quickly do while we're here, as the toolbox is just there. Yeah, so we'll give the sheep a bale of hay, and then I'm going to go and try and see what I can find in terms of sheds to put down, or where to put something down to get that rest of that equipment put away and get things tidied up a little bit more. Okay, so the sheep have had their bale of hay, and I've done a little bit of work just tidying things up a bit. So I've moved the combine and the header into this drive-through section here. So that's out of the Quonset shed. The plough and disc harrow I've just put down to the side. I couldn't find a building or shed I liked that they would fit in, and then I decided that I didn't want to really put another building in around here as well, as it started to make it look probably a little bit too cluttered. So I've just put the mower in here, the seed drill and the rollers, and our John Deere tractor, and just tidied up some of the equipment in this shed as well, just so it's a little bit more accessible. So yeah, I don't think we're going to put any more buildings in around this farm. As I did mention earlier in the series, I do want to like expand out and build up a separate yard for like the arable side of things, and then possibly even then get a separate yard for pigs or cows as we're going in the future. I did change that one to the 3-bay shed, although the animal transport trailer doesn't fit in it that well. But that can stay there for a little bit. And I did extend the fence just a touch going around that corner like I said I wanted to do. So once I move that equipment around. So I've just curved the fence around, and eventually I want to take it all the way down the side of that track, but that's going to be quite expensive to do. So yeah, next job we'll get the trailer with the logs on sold. Or we'll get the logs on the trailer sold, not the trailer. So yeah, we'll take that trailer down to the sell everything container and get that sold. I may load up the rest of the logs we've got down there, and then continue clearing some more trees down that end to try and open up space for potentially another field. Okay, so we'll get this load sold, see how much we make from this. I didn't even check to see whether the sell everything container was the best price for wood actually, which I should have done before we drove all the way down here. What should be the sawmill? Sell everything containers still slightly higher, so currently the best price. So exactly 1,000 for what, I don't know. But there we go, that's what, 45, 66,000, 67,000 almost for one trailer load. So I definitely think this trailer's a lot more efficient than the containers in terms of how much we can fit on and bring down in one go. And obviously we're not messing around buying containers and having to load them up. So yeah, happy with the way this is going. So I'm going to get the rest of the logs we've got cut loaded up. I'll get those sold as well, and then probably make a start on clearing some more land down that area at the bottom of the field. Okay, so all of the, well, pretty much all of the 6 metre logs that we had down that far end have been loaded up and sold. So we're up to 229,704. I've cleared a few trees as well from down the side of the chicken pen, so we can get those moved out the way and loaded up. As I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure I mentioned, I was going to move the greenhouse in preparation for building a new house when the mod's available for the ranch house. So I'm going to sell this one, and we'll rebuild another greenhouse a little bit further back, probably in line with the chicken pen at the back. So we go productions, greenhouses. We'll go with the same one. And probably leave a slight gap in between, line it up with the end. I'm just thinking possibly get 2, or just leave it as 1. I did install as well, although actually I don't think I've enabled them. I was going to have a look at possibly putting the open air garden down as well next to it. Just as something a bit different. I did say earlier in one about putting these in, but yeah, I don't really want to put something like that in around by the house. Just looks a bit too commercial. Yeah, I may just nip back out and have a look at the open air garden, and possibly put one of those down as well. And that kind of finishes that area off. And then we've got all this space then to put the new ranch house in and a separate garage. And then we can tidy up the road. I did mark out previously that section to move the road over from where it currently curves off. So we can have a look at doing that as well. So I do eventually want to change these roads to asphalt as well. So maybe we'll put the first section of that in. So if we get that set to 270, get this set somewhere in the middle. I hate that it always goes way bigger than it looks, and then the next one's down too small. Try the circle one instead. So I brought it straight to around there, and then I was going to curve it off going that way. So try and keep that roughly in the middle. So we'll have the road going off down that way. It just gives us a bit more space then down the side of the horse pastures. So we'll just bring that out and round a little bit as well. So that'll kind of be the new road, which will lead in across probably this way just a little bit. So set that one to 360 or 0. This time we can go with the square. I'll probably bring that about there. And we'll put straight road going across, which will then link off going up that way. So it kind of gives us our mark where the front of the house will come. And eventually as well, we'll put a grass border down the edge of this field. And this is one of those things that's going to eat into our money doing all this. I set that wrong then. For some reason I was on 180. I was thinking 270, not 180 I should have been on. There, we can tidy all that up. We can get some grass texture on. This is why one of the reasons why I usually use the free landscaping tools, because when you make mistakes it gets a bit costly. With no undo button, so things like this, just you end up wasting money. So one of the reasons why I tend to just use the free landscaping tools, so when you do make mistakes you can rectify them without, say, wasting any further money, especially on things that are just purely decorative. So just tidy up that little bit as well. I'll just put a bit of extra grass in there. I won't do all this now, obviously, because I don't want to, say, waste all our money. And then what we'll do eventually, that road, we'll probably continue that road off going across towards the sawmill. So we'll probably take off that bit of field. What I'm thinking of doing after the next harvest of this is take off this section of the field here and then join this, what's left of this field and that field together, just to make one larger field there, because by the time those have been harvested I'm hoping to have cleared a lot of the space down here, so we can get another new field in down this end as well to kind of replace that one. So this area I can't really do much until we get the house in, because I don't know exactly where that's going to go and in relation to that stuff, but we can finish tidying up the bit around here, and I'll probably put a bit of gravel in this time around this. That's where the pallets will spawn, and we'll just put a bit of gravel around this section and just in front as well around there. I'll bring that up a little bit bigger. As we'll need access to the water. The pallets will spawn there, so we need to really bring that over a little bit, but we'll switch back to the dirt texture. We'll probably put a track in that goes from there down to that section. I'll just bring that round a little bit as well, and we can just try and blend that in a little bit. Maybe get a little bit of the mud texture in around, just to break up all that gravel. And then we'll go with the grass tool and put a bit of meadow grass down the centre. And just take a little bit of that off then. It's not quite a thick grass line. I'm gonna get it in the right place. That's not too bad. Probably just add a few random patches here and there. It doesn't look completely all nice and neat and tidy. So there's our greenhouse. We've got a little track to access that. I say the house will get changed as well, and I'll probably just tidy up a little bit more around there. I do want to change this little bit as well here, so I may bring that track straight across actually onto there. Okay, we'll just put a bit of grass down the middle. actually. Let's probably bring that one out a little bit more there. I'll just fill in a bit more over there as well. I think that's a lot better. Get rid of that. So yeah, we've got our access into the chicken area. I may just open that up a little bit more as well, just so we can get the chickens. And I'm possibly thinking as well of getting the additional animal storage mod installed and put there so the eggs will spawn in a larger storage capacity. While we're there as well, we'll just put a little bit of grass down the middle of that track. It's always so difficult to try to do this. It always removes bits you don't want it to remove. Again, we'll probably just break up that texture with a bit of animal mud. I'll bring a bit down there as well, and then plants will go. Just add a little bit more kind of in the center there. So this section here will probably try and say put the grass down the middle so it makes it a bit more of a track along here as well. And then that fence will continue down. We'll probably put some trees in this section. So we'll probably get one of the tree planting mods in, and then we'll fence all around the house when we've got the new house and tidy up the front as well. Once I know exactly where kind of access is going to go, driveways and stuff like that. Well, we can just tidy this up a little bit. Makes it look more like a bit of a track up into the actual farm area. But yeah, I think say little bits here and there at a time, and we're making a little bit more progress and getting things a bit more to how I want them to look. I say until we get the other house put in, and I'll possibly have a look at getting the open air garden or the small open garden as well next to this, so we've got a little bit more going on. So I'll need to get that filled up with water, which I'll do before I finish up. But yeah, we've made a bit more progress. We've got the oats planted with the new planter or seed drill. And I've also started clearing some of the trees along this road as well that were in the way. So eventually we'll continue that road down. We've got all this space over this side that we could start clearing for more homes. Maybe some productions as well. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got more Farm Simulator 22 content coming up with this series and also the live streams as well. So again, a big thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.